Well, with that, we're going to shift focus on to another big story we're tracking right here on NewsX, where the demand for a separate state of Telangana is back in the reckoning. Normal life is likely to be affected in parts of Hyderabad as the Telangana Joint Action Committee, which comprises of the Telangana Rashtra Samiti and other political and non-political groups, have called for a Chalo Assembly protest. Well, the agitating members are demanding the passing of a resolution in the Assembly for carving out a separate state of Telangana. However, police, along with imposing prohibitory order, banning market meetings and also rallies, have stepped up security around the Assembly building. As many as 58 checkposts have been erected in Hyderabad and 17 in Hyderabad to prevent entry of people from the surrounding districts to participate in the march. Schools and colleges have also been asked to remain closed as a precautionary measure. To analyze the situation, joining us here is G Suresh, a political analyst, and also Dr. Ijaz Ilmi, a political analyst, joining us here in the Noida studios. Well, Mr. Suresh, if I could come to you first. Now, the immediate demand, at least, we know the long-term demand, of course, is that of separate statehood. However, the immediate demand is that of passing a resolution. However, if you can explain to us, how would a resolution help? Because after all, it is the centre's prerogative to carve out a new state.
No. Let me make it clear that without a resolution passed in the state assembly, the center cannot move towards creation of a separate state. If you remember, the Telangana people have been repeatedly promised, assured that their state would be created by successive governments of the center, right from UPA 1. If you remember, the TRS was part of the UPA coalition, but they had to walk out finally. Mr. Chidambaram at a midnight press conference a couple of years back promised that soon there will be some development. Nothing happened on that front, and now we had seen a couple of days back Mr. PC Chako making a statement that it's no more on our agenda, it is for the state government to decide. Now, the state is, putting the ball in the center.
But can the state government decide something such as this? Is this something that every state government could be coming up with resolutions about?
Mandatory. No, there is a mandatory provision for creation of a separate state that the state assembly will have to pass a resolution. And unless that resolution is passed, the center cannot technically create a state. But the problem is that if the government is sincere, because the central, you have a Congress government there in Andhra Pradesh, and if they are sincere about it, they can very well cooperate, because TRS will also cooperate, and except for Mr. Jagan Reddy's party, I don't think that anybody else, because even TDP has modified its stand, nobody has a problem. Yes, there are some contentious issues, like where will Hyderabad go, but apart from that, I think that there is unanimity, because there are people of Telangana and other regions of the state, Rayalaseema and coastal Andhra Pradesh, have also seen enough of this agitation. I think that it is time for a settlement. It's not a cause for a small creation of another small state. It's not just another demand. This has been a historic demand which has been right there. Even the merger was a very artificial merger. There were complaints, there were mechanisms put in place even at that time to redress the grievances of the people of Telangana, but nothing happened. Though Telangana has maximum resources at its end, when it comes to taking care of Telangana, when it comes to education, when it comes to water supply, when it comes to power supply, when it comes to generation of job, Telangana is at the receiving end at the expense of coastal Andhra, at the expense of Rayalaseema, at the expense of other regions. So it is very inevitable. Even you have seen many senior Congress leaders like Keshav Rao shifting over to the Telangana, TRS, for the simple reason that even the congressmen are frustrated coming from the Telangana region.
And do you think there is a political will both at the centre as well as at the state?
Well, had there been so, things would have been much easier. Despite the Congress members, waiting for so long, they just put in their resignation with the party president. They did not even resign from the assembly or the parliament, the MLAs. But finally they were forced to, because they came to the realization that if they have to be re-elected from Telangana, the people of Telangana won't re-elect them if they continue to remain with the Congress party. The Congress party will have to take a stand on it. Even at the national level, parties like the BJP BJP have supported, even the principal opposition. So there should not be a problem for the creation of Telangana, even in Parliament. I don't think even the communist parties have a problem. I don't just understand. Yes, there are issues, contentious issues, particularly pertaining to Hyderabad. But apart from Hyderabad, I see no major issues. These can always be sorted out. There have been suggestions that it should be made a union territory, like in the case of Chandigarh, between Haryana and Punjab. That is one of the suggestions. But there are also very practical suggestions which can be worked out. But then, where there is a will, there is a way. But there don't seem to be a will at all.
And do you think from here on, what is going to be the immediate demand? Do you think the entire JAC is going to be happy enough if the Congress once again, because they've done that earlier, come out and say, yes, we do have the resolve, but is that going to be enough?
No, these repeated assurances have been there, but let there be concrete action. One sincerely hopes that, before the 2014 general election, if that is the Congress game plan, that they want to win over that
before 2014 the Congress is going to rock a boat?
No, you see, let us come to think of it. You have the Telangana Rajya Samiti TRS leader KC Chandrasekhar Rao himself saying that I am ready to merge with the Congress party, and he was even willing to be the first chief minister of the Congress party of the newly carved out state. But even then, they are absolutely not interested, because why they are not showing the political will? Either they are waiting for something to happen, or are they going to use it as an electoral thing in the upcoming elections? That remains to be seen. I can assure you that if they may lose some, even otherwise in Andhra Pradesh they are going to lose. If Jagan Reddy is let out of jail, he is going to wipe out the Congress. There is absolutely no doubt about it.
Are you quite certain about that?
So they have hope even now in Telangana. In Telangana, they still have hope if they create a separate state of Telangana, and Telangana, and they can take the credit for that, they will be, benefited from it.
But Mr. Suresh, do you worry that this might set a precedent, which is why the Congress is very worried about taking this extreme step of giving a state? They've made promises, but they haven't actually given that statehood promise. They haven't fulfilled that promise, perhaps because it might set a precedent.
No, that is only an excuse. Let us not forget that during the NDA government, you had the creation of we saw the creation of Uttarakhand, we saw the creation of Jharkhand, we saw the creation of, so many small states, Chhattisgarh, 3 states were created, but nothing happened. I mean, these people can keep on demanding, but then there is a history to this demand. The demand is not like there is a demand for Harif Pradesh in Uttar Pradesh, the western part of UP. There is a demand for Bundelkhand. I mean, there are some parties, but they don't have a ground level support. Here, ground level support is there. You see the Osmania University, which is the hub of this. You see the students are agitated. You see even Congress MPs resigning. There must be a reason for that. That means that they know that the people are with this movement. So let us not forget, as Mr. Ilmi rightly pointed out, 42 is a huge strength, and UPA 2 owes its survival, or owes the very fact that it has come to power for the second term, UPA, yes, because YSR Reddy brought in a large number of MPs from Andhra Pradesh, and now the YSR magic is no more there, and for Kiran Reddy it would be difficult to manage this number. It would be not only difficult but impossible to manage the kind of number that YSR brought. His charismatic personality is no more there. The only successor to that is Jagan Reddy, and Jagan Reddy
is behind bars for almost a year now.
He is behind the bars, but hello, yes,
I was saying Jagan Mohan Reddy has been behind bars for a year now.
Yeah, Jagan Mohan Reddy, if you remember the last assembly elections, he swept. So the very fact that Congress has lost its base in the state is very clear. So in any case, they are not going to win in the Rayalaseema and coastal regions. So why are they preventing the creation of Telangana, where they have a better chance of winning, by creating this state? And it would settle a long-standing problem. So I think that, and again, secondly, even if there is demand for small states, and if they are genuine, if they are justified, then what is the harm in acceding to that? I mean, your United States has 50 states. Decentralization has to be the key. to governance in this country. We have such a variety of cultures, languages, regions, religions. All requirements are totally different. So if there is demand for smaller states, there is nothing wrong in it. Why are we looking at it as a threat to the federal polity? I don't think there should be any reason for that. The more the merrier.
Well, another little point that I'd like to also talk about, the kind of role that the students that we've seen, the students of Osmania University, year after year, painlessly, they too have been agitating. More than a political movement, this is something which has been spearheaded, not by politicians, interestingly by students. Mr. Suresh, one last quick reaction from you. Do you think this is going to be something which is going to be resolved in the immediate future, or do you think it will take years? I know what you're hoping for.
I think that it has been pending for a long time, and one really hopes. Why is it that unless people take up arms in this country, we don't really, you see, when the Mizos took up arms, we started talking to them. When the Nagas took up arms, we started taking. What kind of message are we sending to our youth? Why should, if they are doing it peacefully, protesting, peacefully demanding, why are we not
acceding to those demands? Do you see a quick solution to this entire Telangana tangle?
No, why not? If this has been pending for such a long time, I'm sure 9 years was long enough even for this government. Forget the previous governments to come to a conclusion. I'm sure all parties want this issue to be settled, and they would have agreed for a compromise. So Hyderabad should not be that big an issue. As I said, the suggestion for a union territory status to Hyderabad was always there. That could have been one of the options. Meanwhile, another capital could have been built. There are n number of things. Hyderabad is in great demand for the simple reason that it earns maximum revenue. That is one of the key reasons for both parties asking for Hyderabad. Now we could have found out a via media for that, but for that one single issue, contentious issue, you cannot keep the problem pending for so long. It's festering. It's like a cancer which is growing. Why are you allowing that in the first place?
Well, definitely it is festering. We'll have to wait and see how long the political will is going.
Yes, they are your people. They are your people.
I agree with Suresh there. Actually, at some time when the people movements get across the board, the majority of the people wanted in Telangana, it's very, very evident that they wanted the Congress party at the center, and therefore at the state will have to take a call. It's a political call, and also for political interest, getting Telangana on track, and also coastal Andhra on track with the Kapu community leadership that you established. You can salvage the situation, which right now looks lost, and 42 MPs is very, very important. The Congress party, obviously, it's a pretty hands-on party on political understandings. So I think a solution or something could be worked out. Nothing is intractable that you can't.
Definitely a solution, Dr. Ilmi, can be worked out. It will definitely be worked out eventually. But do you see a quick resolution?
No, see, actually, it's your political, your SWOT analysis. What you gain politically also has to be taken into account. A political party will decide that yes, this suits us more. So that's why it's taking time. But I think with 2014 around the corner, this decision can at the best can move on for another 2 months, but by come October you'll have to take a call one way or the other.
Well, hopefully a call is taken on it one way or the other as soon as possible, because this, as Mr. Suresh was telling us, is simply festering like a cancer which is eating up. But we'll have to wait and see if there is a political will or not. Well, thank you, Mr. Suresh, and also Dr. Ilmi, for joining us with your insights into that story.